Join Kids Hat family.
Tia, yesterday in our class, my friend Ben forgot to bring one of his textbook and Ted offered to share his textbook with him. Ben promised Ted to help him in learning football after school. But after school, when Ted asked Ben to help as promised, instead of helping, Ben left for his home.
That's bad. One should always stand by their promises.
But Tia, today again Ben forgot his textbook, and when he asked Ted to help, Ted refused.
Tofu. We should be sensitive towards every human being. You know, we should always help people around. Come, I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess in the kingdom of a very humble king. The princess was so pampered by her father that she turned out to be a little proud of the fact that she is a princess. Many a times the king asked her to be more humble towards the people around her, because that's the way a princess should be.
I know, my little princess, that you are my pampered child, but you should be little more empathetic towards other people. Everybody is same. It's just that some are fortunate, some are not.
But the princess just ignored what her father had to say and went out to play with the golden ball that her father had gifted her on her birthday. She loved the ball, but no sooner had she started playing that her ball bounced and went into a pond.
Oh God, my favorite golden ball! I would give anything to get back my favorite ball. Anything!
Hearing the princess cry out loudly, a frog leaped up and sat on a lotus leaf and said,
Princess, I just saw what happened. I will get the golden ball back for you. But you have to promise me something.
How in the world did the slimy frog talk? The princess only wanted her ball back, so she hurriedly said yes.
What is it that you want in return? I want you to take me back to your palace and pamper me. I would eat with you, play with you, and sleep in bed with you.
The princess was horrified at the very idea and had no intention of doing any such thing. She agreed to the condition as she thought the frog would not be able to reach the palace on his own, and she had no intention of taking him along with her. She told him to hurry and get the ball back, and waited with bated breath for her golden ball. The frog jumped into the pond and in no time at all came back with the golden ball. She took the ball from him and ran back to her palace as fast as she could.
Princess, come back! You promised to take me with you. You can't break your promise.
But the princess ignored to his calling and ran as fast as she could. She was relieved when she reached her room and soon forgot all about the frog. At night, while she was having dinner with her father, there was a loud knock on the door.
Open the door, oh princess! It's me, the frog from the pond. You promised to keep me with you. Being a true princess, you should keep up to your promise now.
Who is that, and what does he want?
The princess, being a little scared of her father, told him about the afternoon incidents. And how she broke her promise.
You are a true princess, my love, and you should keep up to your promise, no matter what.
Feeling helpless, the princess opened the door and let the frog enter. He hopped on to the seat next to her and asked her to let him eat from her plate. The frog ate till his tummy was full. But the princess couldn't eat a single bite, thinking about the slimy frog eating from her plate. Then the frog asked her to carry him to her bedroom and let him sleep in her bed. Unwillingly, she picked him up in her hands and went upstairs. The frog jumped on her bed and snuggled cozily in her huge, soft bed. The next morning, the princess got up to find the frog missing from her bed. Happily, she hopped from her bed, thinking that the ordeal was over. But as the night fell, the knock again happened. And again the frog ate from her plate and slept in her bed. Feeling sad about sharing her food and bed, she went to her father and asked him if she could stop now. The king again told her that a promise was a promise and cannot be broken. It was the third night when the frog came in again to eat and sleep in her bed. But the next morning, the princess was astonished to see that the frog was not in her bed. And a handsome young prince was standing next to her bed.
What? Who are you? Where is the slimy frog?
Dear princess, it's me, the frog. A witch cast a spell on me that could be broken only if a princess would let me eat in her plate and sleep in her bed for 3 nights. You broke that spell by keeping your promise, and here I am, standing in front of you. I am the prince from the neighboring country.
Would you like to be my wife? Not able to resist the handsome prince, she said yes, but had something more to say.
Oh, prince, I would love to be your wife. But how would you forgive me for being so rude to you?
She was guilty like hell, but the prince was a humble man. He said,
Oh, my dear princess, I can understand your reasons and I am ready to forgive you.
But you have to promise me that in future you won't judge anybody by the way one looks or the job one does. Everyone is equal, and that's how they should be treated, equally. Saying this, the prince took her in his arms and decided to take her to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after.
Oh, Tia, you are right. We should always keep our promises and help people in need. Thanks for the lovely moral story.
Come, Tofu, let's go and play some games now. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. What happened, Tofu? What is it that you're thinking?
Yes, Tia. I am not able to understand how can a person win the race if he's slow and yet steady?
There is a very famous story behind this. Should I tell you that first?
Sure.
The Hare and the Tortoise. Long ago, in a forest, a small get-together of animals was taking place.
You know what? I can beat anyone in this forest. Nobody can beat me in a race.
Yes, I have seen him running. I bet he can beat anyone in this forest.
Suddenly, from the crowd, they hear somebody laughing.
Why are you laughing? You think you can beat me in a race?
I may not disagree with you, oh Mr. Hare. But I might not deny that I have no fear of competing with you.
Oh really? So let's have a race and let's see who wins.
So one fine sunny day, all the animals gathered for the race. Everybody was sure that the hare is gonna be a clear-cut winner.
May the best man win.
And that is me.
Said the hare proudly.
Now let's go, old man. I'll beat you in a second.
The hare runs so fast that all the things on the path go for a spin. On the other hand, the tortoise is running too, but at such a pace that even snails could pass by him easily. Suddenly, the hare stops and looks behind. Oh my lord! That tortoise is gonna take ages to reach this point. So let's just stop here and take some rest. By the time he reaches here, I would get good rest and then cover him up in a blink of a second. In the meanwhile, the tortoise slowly and steadily reaches the point where the hare is fast asleep. He very quietly tiptoes past the hare, and the hare is all ignorant of this fact. Suddenly, the hare gets up by the roars of the crowd, cheering up the tortoise. Go, tortoise, go! Go, tortoise! Oh my lord! How is that possible? I kept on sleeping for so long that the tortoise is about to finish the race. He runs and runs and runs. But to his disappointment, the tortoise just manages to finish the race before he could. In the story, the hare was so full of himself. He was overconfident that he would surely beat the tortoise in the race, because he is faster than that poor being in every other way. But the hare underestimated the tortoise and succumbed in his own fake overconfidence. Yes, and that's why only a person who thinks calmly and is not overconfident of himself wins the race in every sphere of life. Proud people can't survive for long. Hey Tofu, what are you up to?
Nothing much. Just watching TV.
Oh, cool. Are you done with your homework already?
We didn't have much homework today. We just have a research assignment.
I'm impressed. So you finished your research work so soon?
Oh no, I haven't. It's a big assignment, so we have to do it in pairs. My partner is Kate. She's really good with research, so I passed it all off to her. She will write the paper and bring it tomorrow.
I don't know what to say, Tofu.
You can say which game you want to play.
How about I tell you a story instead?
Oh, I love your stories. Please tell me one.
This one is about the horse and the donkey, where the horse doesn't bother to help the donkey. Once upon a time, there was a poor washerman. All he had was a donkey and a horse. He would use the donkey to carry the load of clothes from the village to the river and back. While he would use the horse for himself to go wherever he needed to. The horse enjoyed an easy life, carrying only his master, while the poor donkey did all the hard work. One day, the washerman went to the village to collect clothes from people.
Hello? Are there any clothes you want to give for washing today? Yes, I have. Thank you. Hello, how are you today? I am good, thank you. Do you have any clothes for washing? Yes, I am glad you came. We have too many guests today and excess laundry too. Don't worry, I will have them back in time. Thank you.
And so the washerman went from door to door collecting clothes for washing. Then he loaded everything onto his donkey.
We have a big job in front of us today. We have more clothes to wash than every other day. We'll have to hurry up.
As soon as he got the donkey loaded up, they started moving towards the river. The washerman decided to walk besides the horse and the donkey. But the load was too much for the donkey to carry, so he got very tired. When they were halfway through to the river, the washerman decided to stop to get some rest. He too was tired, having walked all the way instead of riding the horse as usual. That's when the donkey decided to talk to the horse. Horse, can you please help me? This load is too heavy to carry. Since the master is walking today and you have no burden to carry, can you take some of mine? I am here to serve my master, not you. It's not my job to carry the load. It's yours and you alone must do it. The donkey had no choice but to carry the burden of the clothes all alone. So he continued walking slowly when they resumed their journey. But after some time, the weight became too much for him and he collapsed. He tried to get up again but just couldn't.
Oh no! What's wrong with my donkey? Let me get his weight off him first.
The caring washerman removed the bags and bundles of clothes from the donkey.
Oh, these bags are very, very heavy. It was wrong of me to put them on the donkey alone. Now he is very tired. He will not be able to carry this burden anymore. I will put everything on the horse.
Saying so, he put all the bags and bundles on the back of the horse.
Let's give the donkey some rest today.
They started walking again towards the river. As they walked, the horse realized what a mistake he had made.
This is so heavy. I wish I had not been so selfish earlier. If I had shared the donkey's load when he asked me to, I wouldn't have to carry all this by myself. From now on, I will always share the burden.
So you see, Tofu, it's always more sensible to share the burden than to not help others.
Yes, I agree with you, Tia. In fact, if I help Kate out, we will be able to finish the work faster as well, and both will be free soon.
That's right, Tofu. So you see, sharing the burden of work has many advantages. You must go and help Kate out. Is everything fine, Tofu?
No, how can everything be fine? We were in the gym class when Josh and his friends came to me and started making fun of me.
They made fun of you? Why?
Because they all are taller and faster than me.
Well, they should be. They're much older to you, Tofu.
Everybody knows that, but it was so embarrassing, Tia.
What are you going to do now?
What can I do?
Well, let's get your mind off this nonsense. I read something interesting in school today. Should I tell you?
I guess.
One day, a horse saw a snail in the meadow.
Look at you. You are so slow.
The snail did not like the way the horse spoke to him, but he decided to ignore his mean comments. But the horse went on and on.
Where are you going? And when do you think you'll reach there?
I don't understand why you need to make fun of me all the time.
Well, look at yourself. It takes you so long to get from one place to another. I would run miles in that time.
I suggest we both get on with our business and day.
You know, I have an idea. Let's race.
The snail thought about it for a moment. He had a plan.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. How about this Sunday morning?
Okay, we will race this Sunday.
After the horse had left, the snail gathered all the other snails and told them what had happened. He also told them his plans. Everybody agreed, and when Sunday came, they met very early in the morning.
Okay, everyone. Spread out from the starting point of the race till the ending point. Everyone hide all along the racetrack.
And so the snails spread out. When it was time for the race, the horse arrived. Soon the race started. The horse took off striding. After a while, he looked down and he was surprised to see the snail right in front of him.
How did you get here? I must run faster.
And so the horse started running. After some time, he looked down and yet again saw a snail ahead of him.
How is this possible? How can you be ahead of me? I will run even faster.
The horse started running even faster. When he looked down again after some time, he saw the snail there again.
This is impossible. I will run the fastest I can.
Now the horse took off as fast as he could. As he neared the finishing line, he looked down, but he saw a snail crossing the finishing line. Tired and humbled, the horse gave up.
I am so sorry. I underestimated you and made fun of you. Please forgive me for my arrogance.
All the snails who had hidden along the racecourse and fooled the horse into believing that they were the same snail that he was racing heard this and laughed quietly from their hiding spots. What a wonderful story, Tia! Isn't it? I loved it too. And you know what, Tia?
I know what to do about Josh and his friends. I'm feeling so much better. Oh, really? What will you do? I won't get into a fight or get upset by what they say. I will just use my brains instead of muscles. Well, that sounds like a good idea to me, Tofu. Thanks, dear. I'm going to my friend's house to make a plan. Bye. Bye, Tofu.
Wasn't last night's slumber party fun, Tofu?
Oh, I had a blast. Let's do it again.
I agree, but I noticed that you weren't being very nice to Cousin Rob. You were always with your friend Josh.
Cousin Rob started it.
Started what?
Josh is one of my best friends, and Cousin Rob told me that he didn't like Josh as much as I did.
There's nothing wrong in that, Tofu.
I don't understand. Why not?
Shall I explain it to you with a story?
Yes, I want to hear the story.
A very long time ago, there lived a mighty lion in a jungle. One day, he went to the river to drink water. But his leg got stuck in the thick, slushy mud of the riverbank. No matter how much he tried, his leg wouldn't come out. He called out for help. But alas, there was none. And so he remained stuck in the mud. After a few days, a kind jackal came to the same spot of the river to drink water. He saw the lion stuck in the mud. "Your Majesty, are you all right?"
No, Jackal. I am stuck in the mud. I cannot move. I have been here for days now.
"Give me a moment, Your Majesty. Let me see what I can do." The jackal quickly crossed over to the riverside where the lion was stuck. With his paws, he dug out the mud where the lion's leg was caught. "I think your leg should be free now. Please try and come out." The lion tried to move, but he couldn't. His leg had become stiff after being in the same position for so many days. Seeing this, the jackal made more efforts to free the lion. He pushed him and pulled him till he finally came out of the mud. The lion was very happy to be able to move freely after so many days.
Thank you, kind Jackal. You have saved me.
"You are welcome, Your Majesty." "Now I must get back home."
Where will you go? Why don't you come and stay with me? You've saved me, and now you are my friend for life.
The jackal accepted the lion's offer and both grew their own families. but they continued to live together and hunt together. Their children would even play together. But the lioness did not like the friendship between the jackal and the lion. And she conveyed the same to the lady jackal.
The lioness told me that the lion does not want us to live here with him and his family.
Hearing this, the jackal was very upset and went to see the lion.
I thought we were friends. But if you did not want my family and me to live here with you, you should have told me so. Instead, you conveyed your message to me through the lioness and the lady jackal?
My friend, I don't know what you are talking about.
We are leaving.
No, my friend, don't leave me and go. I have not done anything of that sort. I want you to stay with me.
The jackal understood what had happened.
I am sorry, friend. I understand your sincerity and love towards me. I think I judged you too quickly. It is not you who wants me gone, but the lioness. I shouldn't live here any longer.
No, you don't have to go. I will speak to the lioness.
No, don't worry about it. My family and I will live in another home. But you and I will still remain friends. It is best for both families.
Though the lion was very sad, he agreed. And so the jackal made another home for himself and his family. But his friendship with the lion remained. They met every day, went on hunts together, and shared lives good and bad till the end of their lives.
The lioness didn't like the jackal even though the lion and he were best friends. And she knew that the jackal had saved the lion once upon a time.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, Tofu. Sometimes you may like someone very much, but your family may not feel the same way about them.
Oh, I get it now. Let's call Cousin Rob and others for one more slumber party. I promise I will behave better this time. Lucky cat! If the other boys hadn't come, she would have lost the fight. She should have just run away instead of fighting with such a big dog. She was bound to lose against a dog.
I don't think so, Tofu.
Dogs are more powerful than cats, Tia.
Maybe so. But when you have courage and fight with intelligence, you can win against anyone. The Jungle Book. Once in the heart of a thick jungle lived a little boy called Mowgli. he did not belong to the jungle, as he was a human child. Yet, he grew up with a family of wolves. His mother, Raksha, cared for him as she cared for her other pups.
Careful, Mowgli, or you'll fall off the ridge.
No, Ma, I won't. See you later. And so Mowgli took off into the jungle to find his friend and teacher Bagheera. When Mowgli had been a small baby, no more than a year old, he had been found and saved from the forest fire by Bagheera. Of course, nobody knew who Mowgli was, but they always believed he came from the man village at the outskirts of the jungle. Bagheera had handed over Mowgli to the wolves so that he could have a family to grow up with. Since then, Mowgli had learnt the ways of the jungle from his family and his friends Bagheera and Balu. He ran like them, hunted like them, climbed trees like them, and also spoke like them. Hello, Bagheera. What are you going to teach me today?
I won't be teaching you today. Today Balu has something planned for you. Let's go fishing in the river.
Hello, Balu. Let me get a stick to make a spear for fishing.
You don't need a spear to fish.
But it makes it easier.
You can't do it like that, Mowgli. That is not our way.
Then how is it that I know how to make a spear, Balu? Who taught me that? As usual, Bagheera and Balu did not have an answer to Mowgli's questions. The forest fire had started and destroyed the man village. And nobody lived there for a long time. Bagheera had tried many times to find someone to return the child to. But no one was there. When the village settled again, the men put sharp barbed wire fences and laid traps to keep the animals at bay. Although the animals couldn't understand why, all the creatures of the jungle had always maintained a safe distance from the humans. They never meant any harm to them. In any case, the fences and traps made it impossible for Bagheera to return the child back to the human world. Okay, we will do it without a spear. Let's go. The trio set off to the river bank, where Balu showed Mowgli how to catch fish without a spear. Balu would swiftly duck his head into the water and come out with fish in his mouth. Mowgli gave it several tries. Before he was successful. The day passed in the lesson and they decided to head back to the wolf pack. They had almost reached home when Bagheera alerted the other two. There was someone in the bushes ahead in the far right. Soon the others could see a pair of fierce eyes with a scar that ran across the left one, emerging from the bushes. Then the whole figure stepped ahead.
Run, Mowgli, run!
Immediately, Balu and Mowgli took off towards home, leaving Bagheera to fight the large, villainous tiger, Sher Khan. Bagheera and Sher Khan immediately leapt at each other. Sher Khan hadn't expected Bagheera to be so strong and was taken by surprise when he managed to throw Sher Khan against a large tree. The elders of Wolfpack soon joined them. Sher Khan knew he was injured and outnumbered.
You might have saved him today, but the human belongs to me. I will come back for him.
Sher Khan, what are you doing here? This is not your territory.
No territory can keep me out. And the next time I come, I will not spare anyone who stands in my way.
The jungle knew that Sher Khan's threats were not to be taken lightly, and soon worry spread in the wolf pack regarding Mowgli's stay and the pack's future. I can defend myself. I will not let any harm come to my family and friends. I know a way to put an end to this. Mowgli gathered Bagheera and Balu. I know how I came to the jungle. I have seen Sher Khan's eyes only one time before in my life. He attacked our village when I was small. To scare him, the elders used to fire. But he took me and escaped, and the whole village caught fire. When my father followed him to save me, he killed my father.
That is why the villagers have put traps and fences now.
Yes, but now we will stop Sher Khan forever. We know where he sleeps in the day, at the foot of the small mountain on the other side of the river. The bulls feed on the grassy slopes of that mountain. If we can scare them to run down the mountain, Sher Khan won't stand a chance.
That is a good plan, Mowgli.
The trio assured the others that they had found a way out of their troubles, and by tomorrow night, all will be fine. Early next morning, the three set off for the mountain. They went around it and climbed it from the other side so that no one could see them coming. Once on top of it, they could see the bulls eating the grass. Ah! The three leapt at the quiet bulls and rushed towards them, screaming so loudly that the bulls got scared and started running down the hill to escape from them. The plan was working. The whole mountainside shook and rumbled under the stamping of the bulls. This woke up Sher Khan. He saw the bulls rushing towards him. There were scores of them. Scared, he started running away from them.
He is trying to get away.
I won't let him. Mowgli took the tress and swung himself from branches of one tree to another. On the other side, Sher Khan couldn't keep ahead of the bulls. Their sharp horns poked him and he got trampled under their feet. One would have died, but Sher Khan wasn't an ordinary tiger. He was evil, and trickery was his second nature. He latched onto the horns of one bull and tugged at him. Agitated, the bull threw him aside and over the side of the plateau. Sher Khan held to the edges of the plateau and started climbing up. He had almost made it when a small tree trunk hit him in the face. He lost his grip and fell to his death. It was Mowgli. He had reached the spot and found a small tree uprooted by the bull stampede. With his quick thinking, he had thrown Sher Khan to his end. He had saved himself and protected the entire jungle from the tyranny of this villain. Bagheera, Balu, and Mowgli returned to the wolf pack, where everyone rejoiced on hearing what had happened. So you see, Tofu, to win, you don't always have to be the strongest. If you have courage and think intelligently, you can win against anyone.
Yes, Tia. Now I understand what you meant.
Shall we go down and play with our friends now?
Yes, let's go. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.